that
No,
one
this
for
is
Ron?
for, this is Edna for today.
Does Raj get one too?
Yeah.
Oh,
You go a little bit.
does Raj get one too, or he doesn't need one of these?
I think I made up copies.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
pass them around.
Here you go.
We can give them Rob.
Sorry, guys.
Rob's is there if you need it. There's another one.
Yeah, Rob.
I got the original.
Oh, is Rob? Could be.
Oh, he's on the phone?
He's not at this moment, but he's gonna call in for the regular council.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's, it is time, so let's convene this, this public hearing for the proposed bylaw number 468, 2018 medical clinic text amendment. Declare it open, and the public hearing procedure is as follows. Public hearing is being convened in order to receive submissions from the public regarding proposed land use bylaw number 57/2002, amendment bylaw number 468/2018, known as the land use bylaw text amendment to include medical clinic as a permitted use in the BC1 zone. Anyone who believes that their interest in property is affected by the proposed bylaw will be given a reasonable opportunity to be heard or to present written submissions respecting matters contained in the proposed bylaws. Any person who wishes to present a written submission to council may do so, and all written submissions must be received by council before the close of this hearing and presented to the minute taker. If a member of the public wishes to address council, they will be asked to sign the speakers list and should begin by clearly stating their name and address for the record. Comments should be related to the subject bylaw and be directed to council. Members of council may ask questions to seek clarification following your presentation on points raised. However, the main function of the council members is to listen to the views of the public. It is not the function of council members to debate the merits of the proposed bylaw with individual citizens. In considering the proposed bylaw, council has received documents which may influence its decision. Those documents are available for review during this hearing. Your only opportunity to comment on the proposed bylaws is during this hearing, as members of council may not receive further submission, verbal or in writing, after the close of this hearing. Council can determine when the proposed bylaws will be scheduled for consideration, and council may either adopt or defeat the bylaws, or alter and then adopt the bylaws, provided that the alteration does not alter the use, increase the density, or without the owner's consent, decrease the density of any area from that originally specified in the bylaw. All right, so the purpose of the bylaw, the proposed bylaw number 468, 2018, cited as Bowen Island Municipality Land Use Bylaw number 57/2002, amendment bylaw number 468, 2018. Council is considering a rezoning application to add medical clinic as a permitted use in the Village Commercial 1 BC1 zone to apply parking and other standards consistent with other BC1 uses. The BC1 zone applies to properties along the south side of Bowen Island Trunk Road on the east side of Miller Road. And we have a presentation, and I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor
Thanks, Judy.
Ander and Council, and this is a pretty straightforward bylaw amendment, and I think you just pretty much made my presentation for me. So I just, very briefly, we're going back to April of last year when the Health Center Foundation approached Council and was interested in the site on Miller Road for the location of a primary care health clinic for Bowen Island. So at that time, Council directed staff to initiate amendment to the land use bylaw for the BC1 zone to allow that as a permitted use in the bylaw. So just as background in terms of why we need this, we now do have medical clinic as a defined use in the bylaw. It just doesn't apply to the BC1 zone. So what we're doing is actually just putting it into the zone. And the zone consists of essentially Lot 3 of the community lands and also to land along Bowen Island Trunk Road. So it applies beyond the site, but it's one of those uses that I think is reasonable to include within the code area. So what we're doing is, first of all, just adding the use as a permitted use. The parking standard that would be applied would be consistent with other uses in the BC1 zone, such as retail, offices, and so on, that have the same standard of 1 parking space required for 40 square meters of floor area. The other thing that we're doing is adding the provision that medical clinics are one of the uses where if the parking can't be provided on the specific site on which the use is located, provisions can be made to find parking on other properties within the village commercial zones. So that is consistent with the other uses, and that was just something actually we didn't catch the first time, and we repealed and readopted first reading. So the first reading was back in September of 2018. This has been deferred for some time because there were issues that council was dealing with regard to the agreement to purchase the Birch site and the agreement to lease, or the agreement to purchase the clinic site and the agreement to lease the Birch site. So those things are now all proceeding, so it is time to, council proceeded with an amended first reading and second reading of the bylaw on September 30th, and here we are at the public hearing. In terms of comments on the bylaw, it was discussed at the Advisory Planning Commission and supported there. It has no concerns with the Islands Trust, and there were some comments from Metro Vancouver that came back as a result of the referral, but they were mostly about actual development and I think weren't really related to adding the use. I think they're all comments that we will certainly take into account as we start looking at developments on the site. The only other comment that we received was just handed in, and I think it's been passed around the table from Mrs. Edna Thompson, who is the resident at 1030 Miller Road, and she's expressing some concerns with regard to the bylaw and development along Miller Road generally, but I don't think she stayed to speak to the committee. So, with that, the bylaw is proposed bylaw number 468, 2018, and it is here for public comment.
All right, Judy. All right, so I'm going to make a call for public input. If anybody has anything to say. Tim Rhodes?
Yes, I'd like to.
Yes, please.
Very brief statement.
Thank you. Did you sign in?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
I'll add you. You should know.
No better.
Tim Rhodes, 951 Village Drive, Bowen Island. I'm representing the Bowen Island Health Center Foundation. The Bowen Island Health Center Foundation supports this change to the zoning for Lot 3 of the community lands. It brings us a step closer to subdivision, after which the foundation can begin preparations for a development permit application. These are all key milestones on the path to bringing healthcare close to home on Bowen Island. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll ask a second time. Is there any further submissions from the public? And I will ask a third and final time for any further submissions regarding proposed bylaw number 468 2018. All right, since there are no further public submissions, written submissions received up to October 23rd, 2019. We have none.
Just this one. We got one on the table.
Well, just the one we got just now.
From
Edna, sorry, thank you. There is no further public input, and council does not wish to have a further staff report.
Then I'll move that all written and verbal submissions regarding Bowen Island Municipality land use bylaw number 57, 2002, amendment bylaw number 468, 2018, up to and including October 28, 2019, be received and that the public hearing be adjourned.
Second, Maureen. All in favor? Thank you. On that note, I will call this public hearing adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you.
Well, that was,
quietest public hearing we've had.
Yeah.
Dinner is upstairs.